Welcome to the Road Poneglyph Wano edition.
Uh,
Where
what are we gonna call this one?
this is I just Road Poneglyph Wano edition. I just said.
What when we get out of Wayno, what happens?
What do you mean?
Oh, we're getting out of Wayno. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Getting out of Wano? What are you fucking? You were in there forever, dog. We're gonna die in Wano, you idiot. If we get out, I mean, it's gonna be called Road Poneglyph. I mean, we'll call it whatever the next arc is.
That's true.
Road
Anyway.
Poneglyph Elbath.
Oof.
Road Poneglyph Davy Backfight featuring Shanks. Road
Rope.
Poneglyph Laugh Tail.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Have you ever noticed that the One Piece title says One Piece twice?
Why though? I guess in case you can't read that it
I
says
bet-
One Piece.
I
I
bet
bet
the-
it's in Japanese on top of it.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that is it.
But that's also kind of like a why would you even?
Why would you translate that? In case the I that looks like a Luffy and the anchor E really fucks with you.
I guess One
All right.
Piece. One Piece.
When we last left off, we were in chapter 695. We're now doing six. What the fuck am I? It was 965. We're now doing 966. This flashback's popping off, gang. It's great.
I like this. I also like. We haven't talked about the cover story, but I've been enjoying it. Where it's Beige and his family running around Dressrosa.
I'm a little lost because, so Lola got kidnapped by these random pirates.
No, the Marines.
Oh shit! Oh, I see. Oh yeah, he has marine guards too on his shoulder. So yeah, you're right.
Oh shit!
Lola got.
But yeah, so now we're here on this island that Luffy trained at.
No,
Yes.
they've already gone to that island. The island Luffy trained at was like in a time skip. Like when they're montaging islands, it was after they.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, they went to Water 7 and stuff and all that.
Mm.
Man, reading Water 7 is so good right now
Yeah.
because the volume we're about to reread to catch up with Bradley is the Tom backstory, and I'm just like, oh my god, this whole backstory is about the consequences of Tom helping Roger. It's so good.
Tom is next. But we'll get to that later when we see him.
Well, anyways, this chapter's just a lot of hype.
Yeah, it's got like the biggest hype panel of the decade.
They're so strong. Their blades aren't even like touching. They have so much aura.
Yeah.
I like this panel of Roger running like Luffy.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say like that point where Roger's more interested in meeting these people, and meeting Odin particularly.
Right? Yeah. This is the first time he's meeting Odin, and he just immediately knocks him out. Divine Departure is our one named Roger attack.
Yeah.
So when you get to Pirate Warriors 4 and Roger's for some reason playable and all his moves are just gonna be Divine Departure. Like when Shanks is playable in video games, they just make up moves for him. They're like, oh, let's give him Lightning Hockey, because that's what he does in Pirate Warriors 3. They fight. They like make up afterwards. They fight for how many? 3 days. The classic.
Yeah. And then we get to this important page with Shanks, Buggy, and Blackbeard.
Oh, dude. So we get this reveal that Blackbeard has never slept.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, wait, what? So many theories could be made from this. It could go with he has both of his sisters merged into his body theory, and each one of them just switches on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could maybe extrapolate that and look back to the times we've met Blackbeard. Has he shown 3 different personalities?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you stretch it, I don't know.
And also, it's kind of, you could also say that he's afraid of the dark, and that's why he never sleeps. And then it's kind of ironic that he has the darkness fruit that he uses.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this panel. There was a big connection that someone posted how Oda set up the idea of someone from the cold not sleeping back in Drum Island.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone
Luffy,
read it by now, but
yeah, just to summarize it, Luffy said offhandedly that people don't sleep in cold islands because it's cold, and then we see that Blackbeard it was a crying child during the nighttime in this little picture that Oda drew of him.
mm-hmm. And
Um,
it's snowing, or
and
he's got on him.
there's like a little bit of snow by his feet potentially,
Yeah.
so it could be a hint that he was from a cold island and he didn't sleep because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I think it's also interesting um, that in this flashback we get a very different view of Buggy and Shanks than what Buggy originally gave us.
Hmm. How so?
Where
Yeah.
Well, like Buggy always was said like he was very resentful towards Shanks and very much like how him were mortal enemies. But like they're just palling out here.
They seem like BFFs, which makes me really sad for the present.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
was trying to, I was trying to worry about this, but like Buggy and Shanks have the exact same resume, and Shanks made out like a bandit.
they took the same God internship in Microsoft
Yeah,
or Apple, but like Boogie became me,
yeah,
and then Shanks went on to become like one of my other peers.
yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked that how Boogie just didn't have the willpower to really thrive in the One Piece
Or he
world.
just he didn't want to like he got to the end of the road and was like
There's
and,
no way I could live up to Roger, so I even bother. Maybe
yeah, yeah. But
I
like,
very much look forward to late game Boogie. I
and,
can already picture him getting to Laugh Tale and
mhm,
being like, "I made it, pops," and then
yeah.
I'm just gonna cry.
Hmm.
It'd be great. We learn more about the Lodestar Island, which
Hmm.
makes me wonder if the Road Poneglyph is actually the Lode Poneglyph, but who knows?
But I think rope poneglyph makes more sense because it's a direction. And then some point out that load is important because that's what you call a magnetic
Um,
center or something.
Magnetic stones, Lodestones.
Yeah.
Either way, we're just gonna
Well, we're
split
just gonna
them.
run with it because they
Yeah,
retcon Raftel's name in this in the next couple of chapters too, which they
yeah,
did in Stampede. I hear, anyways.
yeah. I wish I didn't say that to Bradley if I knew it was gonna become relevant in the story, but I said that to Bradley because I was like, oh, it's a Stampede only reveal.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it looks
Whatever.
good. I think honestly, if he got to this point, he's like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Like, I don't know. But it's just we got some really good interactions here. Um, and Roger kind of re-explains rope poneglyphs, and then he
hmm
says something to Roger. What's interesting at
Right.
this
This is so good.
is that it's Roger, Whitebeard, and Odin are the three people that are sitting around talking. Um, Roger doesn't have like a second in command around them, which I guess is Odin at this point, right? Because he's the second division.
No, it would. Well, I guess it's not Marco because Marco
No,
became the first division when he was grown up.
yeah,
Marco's still a teenager,
yeah.
and it's not Odin because Odin is the second division commander. So who the
Ace,
heck?
he's Ace's spot right now.
Yeah.
So maybe
Uh,
Roger is just first division, and then later he ends up like I don't know. But I just think it's interesting that there's not like not another kind of party here.
hmm. Yeah.
Interested in hearing about this. But like Roger says something to them, and we don't know what he says. We
Which
get
mirrors Luffy doing that to Ace and Sabo when they were kids.
yeah,
Luffy goes, "I'll be," and then you get this cutoff. You can guarantee they're not saying Pirate King or King of the Pirates
hmm,
because that's a term that the media created, as we're
yeah,
gonna find out at the end of
hmm,
this batch of chapters.
yeah,
Um, I'll be the freest man in the world.
hmm,
Maybe let me look at the context of this sentence here. The stories say that there's a vast treasure awaits on the final island, and the government says don't go there, but that only makes me want to go there more.
yeah.
If we can get there, we'll be the greatest pirate crew in the world, in fact, and
It,
name
it,
both. In the world, that's right, I'll be whatever.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's like King of the Pirates, even though it fits the name
Yeah.
potentially. But
I mean, Luffy always says King of the Pirates, so, like, it would be weird for us to cut off there.
I think it's weird. It doesn't make Luffy. I don't. People say they said the same thing. I don't think so. I think Luffy said King of the Pirates.
I think they said, why would they cut off if Luffy said King of the Pirates and cut off here?
I
Nuh-uh.
don't. I just it just seems weird to me because that's always been Luffy's like head space his entire time. I don't think there's any reason for him to think differently, at least from what we know.
I mean, this is a 8-year-old Luffy saying
Right.
this, and I don't know, man. It could be something he's willing to share with his bros, but
I'll be the one that destroyed the world.
I want to destroy the red line and create the all blue for Sanji.
First,
I really like Oden's reactions to meeting Roger. He's like, "Oh my god, this guy's he's even more Chad than me. I am so enthralled by this man." So the idea is that Lodestar Island is the final island, but it is not Raftel.
yes, it's the island before Raftel. They get the Lodestar. Everything.
But there's no magnetic fields to Raftel, so you can only use the road Poneglyphs to get there. And once you get there, because of how you have to enter the Grand Line, you have circumnavigated the world, which is really cool.
So probably like, it's most likely like when there's like a magnetic barrier that like repels the other one away and pushes everything back the other direction. If that makes sense.
Maybe
I don't know. Like it feels like that's a dead zone over there. Like imagine if, like, the very last part of the Grand Line was just the calm belt collided together at one spot.
Ooh, yeah, with a bunch of Sea Kings.
Yeah, which would make sense in the last chapter, and they're explaining a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I get the impression that they didn't fight super hard, despite this being their last fight, or either that or Oda's bad.
No, I think
no. How the island would be destroyed?
Yeah,
Whitebeard already has his fruits. If they were going all out, there wouldn't this island would not be intact.
Yeah, it's definitely not like an all-out fight. This was just kind of more of a skirmish kind of thing.
Yeah. Oden leaves the Whitebeard pirates for now. So
Pops is angry.
Pops is angry, and he sails on the Oro Jackson. We've never seen it. Well, is this the Oro Jackson, or is this just a ship?
Yeah, it is, because they end up going to Tom and they talk about a ship.
But I thought when they go to Tom, they're making the ship at that point, or maybe this is the second time they.
No, they're making the train at that point. Because by the time
it can't be. There's no way Roger was there when they were making the train.
Because remember, in Water 7, Tom gets arrested for making the Oro Jackson.
Yes.
And at that point, Frankie's a little bit older, and Tom is kind of done making ships. He's just focusing on the train now.
Well, the point is, it's fresh on my mind. Roger has already been killed. At that point. Right. So at the beginning of Frankie's flashback, Roger has already been killed, executed. A judicial ship shows up, and they're like, "Tom, you gave him the Oro Jackson," and Tom is like, "I'm building the sea train. If you let me live for 10 years, I can finish the sea train."
Right. I don't think
we go from there.
I don't think you got a ship halfway through.
So like Roger visiting wouldn't have been at like midway through Frankie's flashback, and we just didn't see it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying.
Well, hold on, that was last chapter?
What do you mean?
Him visiting Tom. That was last chapter?
No, it's next chapter.
It's next chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll read it when we get there. We'll reconfirm.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, what was great about this chapter is Bradley was right in the middle of Skypiea, like right at the climax of the fight, and we get to this chapter,
and you get the Poneglyph where Roger vandalizes it, and Bradley, by the way, was 100% right when, at least as far as we understand it, when he wrote that I guide this document to the end. It means he finished what it was trying to say.
Yeah, that's why I always interpreted that saying is that he was more of a metaphorical, or like not physically taking this, but taking the information and moving it forward.
Yeah.
Something that's always kind of bothered me, but I've never really thought about it, is how they're able to go backwards in the Grand Line. But I guess you get eternal log posts.
If you have eternal log poses, you can. Also, they're not going backwards at this point.
Yes, they have, because they haven't gotten the Raftel yet, which is at the end of the Grand Line.
Well, yes. I mean, they could have also somehow gone off the edge.
They could have gone out the combo and like
somehow.
Gone back. Yeah.
I mean, marine ships can do it. There's a couple of ways, but the point is, now they're in the same route as Luffy.
Yeah.
Um, again, Odin's narration is the highlight of these chapters. I like everything he writes into his journal.
We got this cool double page spread of the merry-go, Thousand Sunny, some pop star boys, Jinbei,
Oh,
and
you're on the next chapter.
yeah, I'm on the next chapter.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Jinbei is in a cover or story. Oh my god, or a cover page.
So this must confirm that he's dead.
I guess we'll see. Who's this middle ship? It's so cute.
I think that's just the ship that the pop stars came on.
Okay.
Yeah, you should watch the music video. It's really well animated.
Oh, I didn't know there was a music video.
Yeah.
Cute. Remember when Frankie had Popeye arms? That was a good times.
Mm-hmm.
On to more Roger shenanigans. Okay, he's meeting Tom here. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, he's building the train. He's designing it. He's focusing on the train.
His train idea was before, though. He had that idea. He was working on that idea for a while.
Right, but like he doesn't trade the ship in here. This is the last time he sees Tom.
Frankie met Odin and Gold Roger and never spoke of it. Oda bad.
No, Frankie didn't meet Gold Roger.
Oh yeah, he met Odin.
Yeah,
he doesn't like He doesn't like pirates because pirates freaking ditched him. Yeah, he was abandoned by pirates.
Yeah.
So he's already built the Oro Jackson, and this is midway through, and they're meeting at Scrap Island, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And they're singing Binks Brew or Binks Sake because if you say Binks Brew, people will come after you.
Mm-hmm.
They're visiting Fishman Island.
What's this bridge?
This makes me think of where Robin ended
Yeah.
up. They're wearing the clothes that they do during
It's a prison colony.
Yeah.
So was that ever explained what they were doing?
It's not Impel Down.
It's not Impel Down.
Yeah.
But,
also, if this is the point where by the way, I think this is the point where they actually go to Luffy's training island, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the point, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these prisoners are doing.
I don't know what this is. I haven't seen anyone talk about this fucking bridge. I don't know it.
Please leave a comment if you know what this bridge is for on chapter 967, page 5.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I never watched the anime, which I think expanded all those little filler arcs more. So and also it's been so long, I don't remember at all where that island was. Where Robin was.
When we get to that part with Bradley, we'll remember it or we'll see it.
Yeah, and I mean we're never gonna get there. That's so far away.
We're sticking on this like fucking panel for so long, but like it's such a big project. Like, what the fuck is happening? Because that's literally a bridge.
And if this is the same loaded like magnetism routes, how come Luffy and Co didn't go to this island?
Right. Well, what would have so after what's it called? This island, which was after Water 7, they went into the Bermuda Triangle equivalent of One Piece and ran to Thriller Bark, and then went out that way. I think in Thriller Bark they got some sort of compass for
Thriller Bark. No, Thriller Bark is an island, though. It has its own magnetism, so I think it just naturally. Were they in a different route there for a little bit then?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because everyone ends up in Fishman Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, they're underwater, and we get fucking massive lore dumps.
Mm-hmm.
Roger and Odin can both hear the Sea King speak, which we don't really get to know what they're saying until next chapter. Mm-hmm. They meet King Neptune, and Madame Charlie, as a little girl, drops the
pre-cleavage Charlie.
When she was not yet an Oda female, she drops the premonition that all the stuff about the Mermaid Queen being born. So it's not yet the premonition of the Straw Hat destroying Fishman Island, but it is the premonition of the Mermaid Princess being born.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah, so in 10 years she'll be born. Here's the road poneglyph that's in Fishman Island, which Big Mom steals, I believe.
No, Big Mom doesn't steal because Roger gets the Roponglyph from Big Mom later. He says it. He has one of the markings from that Linland fellow. So
Oh,
I
yes,
think
yes.
Whitebeard took this Poneglyph.
I need to... No, hold on. Whitebeard never had a poneglyph.
He didn't have a Poneglyph now, but then remember, he ends up taking over Fishman Island.
Yeah, I guess. I'm gonna say Big Mom has this one. Because there's... Yes, in modern times, Big Mom has this one.
No, they
No?
get another Roponglyph from her. She doesn't have two; she has one in the main storyline.
This
now.
isn't two road poneglyphs. This is one road poneglyph and a poneglyph. Right.
Yes, I know. But when they go to Big Mom's place, they get one road poneglyph.
But when they go to Fishman Island, there's only one poneglyph, and it's not.
But there's also an indentation in the ground that there's one missing.
Right.
Saying, and then later they say they get a poneglyph from Linland in this chapter, or in one of the chapters. I know for a fact.
We'll keep our eye out for it.
Yeah.
The adventures are fun. Lady Toki needs to go back. They go to Zhao. Genghis Bon is a name that exists. Woo! And they feel weird about this island. And the same way that Momonosuke, God, I always mess up his name. Feels weird. And I think, did Luffy feel weird here as well in Zhao?
In Zhao? I don't remember.
I think it was just Momonosuke.
Yeah.
And every time they feel weird, it's not like it's Zunisha's voice, which is the elephant. They make it seem like it's the tree.
Yeah.
And they always focus on the tree whenever they bring this up. And it could be the Poneglyph, which is hidden inside the tree. And it's still there to this day. So we know this one is in Zhao.
Yeah. Well, it is in Zhao, but we know it's not removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we have found several real poneglyphs and the 4 road poneglyphs. So at this point, Roger's already found all 4.
Right. Are we still in 967?
Yeah, I'm just like the thing with Linland I never found that.
I've literally seen it before. I remember him going, with that Linland fellow. We have 4 poneglyphs.
God, I need a map and a timeline of where each poneglyph was at whatever time.
Yeah.
I could have sworn this is the one she takes, or at least she takes it from Whitebeard. She has one.
She has one, but it's not this one.
I just don't believe Whitebeard had one. That feels weird to me. I feel like that hasn't been brought up.
Because no one knew that was supposed to be a road poneglyph. Because the crew doesn't figure out what a road poneglyph is
until Zhao. Yes.
And then by the time they get to Zhao, we know.
But I feel like they would have lore dropped it of like, yes, a road poneglyph, like the one, and Marco's like, yes, remember when we had the road poneglyph? I don't know. No, anyways,
yeah.
The end of this chapter is amazing. So there's something a little bit dumb here, where, like Oden gets here and he immediately turns away. If Orochi was already being a problem, Oden and the Roger pirates could have solved it in half a day. So if they just stayed for like half a day, they could have just continued. But I think it's more like the idea where it's like,
but I think the big thing here, is in the journal. Oden says that he knows something is wrong. He can feel that something is wrong, but he is consciously making the choice to ignore it for now, so he can keep being with Oden or with Roger. It's less. It's not so much of like a missight and more of a character trait that Oden is going to prioritize his adventure over the safety of his company.
Yeah, it's the idea that like, okay, sure, they can handle Orochi in half a day, but Oden is afraid of the emotions he's going to feel. This need to stay home and protect his family and his country.
Yeah.
But he also understands how unbelievably important this journey with Roger is. So he has to just turn his back.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads us into Genghis Khan. Him feeling unnerved, like we spoke. Roger now somehow has seen all the poneglyphs. Pedro is here, and Roger's just like, hey, one day you'll die for a special boy. And that'll be your lot in life, kid. And they know the place. They figured it out. They're going to set sail. Boogie came down with a fever, which the mistranslations, I'm glad we wait for the official ones, mistranslated as him having the island disease that Usopp has. So Shanks stays with Boogie. Like, that's how close of friends they are. Shanks decides to stay as well.
Yeah.
And he knows one day he'll go on his own.
Or, yeah. It's just it's also kind of a big important, because I think of this the whole time we've assumed that Buggy and Shanks knew what One Piece was.
I didn't have an assumption one way or the other. I guess I just didn't think too much about it because I thought it could go either way. But I knew that they must know like every step to get there. Definitely, right? Yeah. I mean, they got there until the moment where they sail for Laugh
It's like getting to the final boss of the video game and not actually being the final boss because you're like, I don't.
Well, you get to the final boss and you rearrange your party to go into the final boss, like final little stretch, and the rest of your party stayed behind.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
I looked it up on the One Piece wiki, and that one in Fishman Island is currently missing. We don't know where it is.
Yes, and I'm saying Big Mom has it.
No, like that's not
okay. That's not the one.
No, it's not the one.
How do they know?
What do you mean? How do they know?
I mean,
they don't know that was supposed to be a rope poneglyph. They don't know. They just
how
know
does the wiki know that missing one isn't Big Mom? I say this because Big Mom took over Fishman Island. It just makes sense to me that she took it from there.
But because there was literally a chapter where he already got one. It said I got it from that Lulin fellow.
This is in the past. She has one now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. She has one now in the past as well. But it's not the Fishman Island one.
Okay, I'm saying the one she has in present time One Piece is the Fishman Island.
It's not.
What?
It's not.
How can you be so sure?
Because if that was true, because think about it, Willer. They get one from Linlin, and then they find the one at Fishman Island. And then there are two more that we don't know of.
Linlin hadn't taken over Fishman Island at this point.
Whitebeard hasn't taken it over yet. There's a period where Whitebeard has Fishman Island before Big Mom takes it over for his death.
Yeah.
During that time, there's a big space where that thing could have moved.
But I'm just saying you don't know.
But we do because we know that Linlin already has one.
No, because yes. All right, so you're saying I get it. Right, Roger never took the poneglyph from Linlin. He took the inscription of it, like Brooke did.
Yes.
So you're saying she's had that one for 22 years.
Yes.
And it's still the same one. Okay. In my mind, it like swapped hands with what Roger did, but I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't know. The one that Kaido has. Don't know if that's always been with Kaido or whatever.
Does Kaido have one?
It's an Onigishima, whatever it's called. His
Yeah. Onigashima or whatever.
Yeah. So also, fun fact: there are two poneglyphs there. There's the rope poneglyph, and there's one underneath the castle in Wano. But not a rope poneglyph.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what that one's all about, right?
Yeah, we don't know what that one's about, but we know there's one there.
Okay.
Which would be interesting.
All right, on to the end of this chapter. They finally go to Raftel or Laugh-Tale.
Yeah.
And the wording here is very interesting. And on that day, we learn the entire truth of the world. What the 100-year void is, what the people of the D are, what the ancient weapons are. In the past, Wano was open to the world, and in the face of the vast treasure, which was very real indeed, Roger just laughed. This page is going to stick with me for so long. Joe, I want to make this an emote in our Discord servers whenever
we literally can't, though.
And whenever we open this up to the public. What if, Bradley didn't realize that was Enru laughing for years. For 2 years, he had no idea.
Yeah.
So what if we just call this like PK Laugh or Pirate King Laugh?
That'd be hilarious. So two big things from this is that, well, I guess it's next one where they call him King of the Pirates, where they say that's not his idea.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting in this one, and it goes back to that poneglyph, that Wano was open to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's closed. So I think that not road poneglyph, the regular poneglyph that's underneath the castle really it's going to explain more about the world government, and that's why they don't want people going there for sure.
You think it?
Because...
I mean, I was just listening to Semblance of Sanity go through the Alabasta arc. One thing I didn't note is how much history they talk about in that poneglyph that is there. Robin's just listing it, and Crocodile's like, "I don't care about that. Is there stuff about the Pluton here?" And the answer was no, or she lied about it. It was yes. Yeah, the answer was yes, but she lied. So logically, the one in Wano is going to have the history of Wano, just like the one in Alabasta had the history of Alabasta.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, I realized something. Go ahead.
And in that, there's going to be the answer why Wano closed their borders. But go on, Joe. You were gonna say.
So in the next chapter, there's a spot where Shanks is crying at Roger, and I really didn't know why. And then if you look on the page before, in the spread before the page turn, they're talking. There's a cough hack. Are you all right, Captain? And then you see like Shanks next to the door, and you hear the thing wiggle, the doorknob wiggle. So I think that's Shanks kind of listening in and putting things together on what's happening with Roger. 16 and 17 in 967.
I'm trying to see this wiggle. Yeah.
So he's like listening in, and he hears. I don't know if that's Shanks saying that, but I don't think it is, because they're obviously having a private meeting on where they need to go.
And then when Roger gets back, so Roger didn't tell them
that he was dying.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I also we learned the entire truth of the world, which implies that the truth of the world is more than just the 100-year void, which is definitely where we're going to learn about the world government and their misdoings. But it implies that there is also a truth of the physical world of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
That knowledge is gotten from reaching Laugh Tale, which I don't know. It's all a spaceship, dog.
The red line is just a giant spinal column, and then you crack it open, and then it turns into a turtle.
Brilliant. Goda. So Roger just laughed, and so did we all, we laughed until tears sprang to our eyes. Oh, joy boy, I wish I'd been born in your time. This is quite a treasure you've left behind, a tale full of laughs. Say, that gives me an idea. Let's call this Laugh Tale.
So what I'm imagining right here is, I think there's something else here, but I think the big thing they're looking at is there's going to be a big grid where you line up all the poneglyphs and you put them all down, and it tells you everything. Like you fit them together, it's a wall.
Maybe reading them in a certain order actually reveals a fundamental truth about the world, which would imply that maybe there's some time fuckery or some I don't know. I feel like you're right, and by reordering the way you read it and not reading it in a linear way, you understand some insight about the world, and then you're like, oh wait, I'm in Bloodborne. Oh shit.
Or
there was great ones all along.
Because the other thing you have to realize is One Piece is a Japanese manga, which means it's written in an entirely different language.
Yes.
Which means it has fundamental concepts and ideas of what a language looks like.
Right.
So in Japanese, you read right to left, up to down.
Well, Oda is international enough to I'm not gonna make any. Okay, I see what you're saying.
But we generally stick to the culture that you make things from.
Yeah.
So maybe the idea here is when you put the poneglyphs up, they line up differently, going up to down, left to right, so they say different things based on what they're saying. Like Robin's like, oh, because this is here, that changes the entire different context of what this is saying.
Right. I feel like if you're right with your grid theory, it's gonna be like that. That or there's a big map that they're looking at that reveals some truth about the world.
It's just a giant smiling face.
Not
Oh, that would
Nami's goal is to draw the entire world. No one's done it before.
right.
Maybe just the geography of One Piece beyond what that globe that we always see. Maybe if it's something else, you understand some insight about it as well.
Laughing face. It's a big smile.
It's a big Naruto symbol,
Yeah.
and this is it's a Sharingan. And just like how Kishimoto drew like a straw hat in the last chapter of Naruto, we will get a Naruto in the last chapter.
Village.
And then like Luffy's face will be like the ninth Hokage. Anyways, on to the last chapter.
I don't. There's a theory going around about the straw hats I don't really buy into. But
There's a theory going around the straw hats I totally buy into.
I don't.
Well, let's get there then.
Yeah.
Roger returned. Red Terror came to him, asked him something, only to shed tears afterwards. So either he is confirming the truth that Roger is going to die, which is, I like this page as a parallel to when Luffy cried into Shanks' chest, or maybe there's this realization about the truth of the Joy Boy, where Roger was too early to accomplish something, and Shanks, you're also not the one who's going to accomplish it.
Yeah.
And maybe Shanks doesn't like that. Which would give him and Luffy an interesting dynamic, right? Mm-hmm. If Luffy is the one who accomplishes it and Shanks was sad he couldn't, what if there's a little bit of resentment there? Yeah. That'd be super interesting. He's like...
That'd be a cool way of, like, driving the motivation for Shanks to fight Luffy.
I've always thought Shanks was sketchy every time we didn't see him in that initial time. He always seemed so odd to me.
Mm-hmm. He definitely like now, whenever he shows up, he's completely different than how he was with Luffy, and like because Luffy's laughing and joking around all the time, and then afterwards, like he's been a lot more serious, a lot more sullen about everything, and just like it's I think the one time where he's kind of happy, and it might be entirely different context by the end of the story, like it's when Luffy gets his first bounty, but everything time after that has been kind of just like, I don't know, a lot more sullen.
When he's with Whitebeard, they're friends, but it's not. I feel like when he's with Mihawk, that's the most normal, quote unquote, that we see him post. So interesting, right? I think that'd be really interesting. Yeah, he's like, I have to bet my arm to make sure that you can become the Joy Boy.
Yeah.
But I wish it could have been me. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
I gave up my arm for you. Wasn't it out that Luffy isn't even it, and they had to do a 3-piece.
The birth of the King of the Pirates caused a stir around the world, prompting the Navy to leap into drastic action. So what's that all about?
Hey.
Oh, O'Hara.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They have to burn O'Hara now because because they made it. Someone else knows how to get there, which means all those people that know how to read it, we can't even like risk any of them getting there eventually.
Oh man, dude, the layers. That's so good. I just because you just mentioned O'Hara happened 20 years ago, and this is 20 years ago. 21? 22? Yeah. So the plans to Buster Call O'Hara maybe start around this time, potentially.
Yeah, and start like rounding up anything else related to that potentially, as well as Tom, probably hunting down Tom and figuring out anyone that's connected to the Roger Pirates as well. He's not dead yet.
Yeah, they really start their Roger Pirate cleanse. Yeah. Interesting. The world at large referred to everything that Roger gained as the One Piece.
And he's the man who achieved wealth, fame, and power, just like in the 4Kids version of
just like it. Age of Pirates started, but it didn't really kick off until its execution, as we know. We get a flashback to what those Sea Kings were talking about. By the way, if there's one thing aside from Zolo that I don't like about the Viz, it's not even Navy over Marines, which is confusing.
It's Neptunians?
It's Neptunians over Sea Kings. Mm-hmm. Sea Kings is a fine name. Why do they... Whatever.
I think if someone explained it where, like, it's just the way the kanjis is made, where, like, they didn't know... We didn't know about King Neptune at this, like...
Right.
When
And it makes sense that they would name a King Neptune after Neptunians. Like, if they're sea people, that seems like a fitting homage. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we get this idea that the birthings at hand, our sovereign will soon be born. And in another distant sea, the whales are delighted in anticipation of the day the two sovereigns shall meet again. All right. So, this single sentence has so much to unpack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because so the birthing is at hand, which means it's happening now. That's not Shiroshi. That's someone else.
Huh. Everyone's been thinking Shirahoshi, but now that you mention it...
Well, it's 10 until the birth. That's Shiroshi. Like, we know that for certain.
Well, is that soon in the context of the life of a Sea King?
I don't know.
I guess so. No, it must be. We don't know of any other Sea King sovereign, if not the Poseidon.
Birthing is at hand to me means that it's happening. That's what I think in my brain is that it means it's happening now.
I mean, if you now and soon is relative if you're talking in the span of 1,000 years. Huh?
So it says there's just a lot going on in this that we can't 100% pack out.
No, it has to be Shirahoshi, and they're just talking in a broader sense. Like, it's happening now.
Right, maybe.
Because Joy Boy and the previous queen might have been 800 years ago or whatever, right?
Right.
Well, didn't Joy Boy give Roger his hat?
No.
No? I made that up. Who gave Roger his straw hat?
No, Roger had the straw hat the entire time. First time we see him is when he's on the island and he sees Riley. He's like, "I want to come with you," and he jumps in the boat with him. He has a straw hat on.
Okay. I could have sworn there was a...
I don't buy into that theory because it's just a hat.
No, dude, that hat is super real, dude. No. We know Joy Boy had a straw hat. Okay, hold on.
No.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, folks.
Investigative journalism time.
Investigative journalism.
No picture available.
Uh-oh. There's no search for straw anything in the Joy Boy page. I could have sworn we seen a picture of Joy Boy with the straw hat.
Nope. Mm-mm.
You know what? I'm still gonna go with it. It's a good theory,
so
all right?
One thing that we kind of glossed over is that the Kazuki clan was the ones that made the Poneglyphs.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Right, which means their Poneglyph, that history there is gonna be, I think, the most intensive, right?
It's gonna be like Robin's big moment.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyways, I'm gonna say it's Shirahoshi, and so the idea is that Luffy's the other one.
So in another distant sea, the whales will delight in anticipation that the two sovereigns shall meet again. Waiting for so long, it's almost here. Surely all will go well this time. And I mentioned this before. Means it was supposed to happen before, at least to you, Willer. That it was supposed to happen before, so now it's repeating itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it happened again. It might have happened before with Joy Boy and the previous.
Right.
Poseidon.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably most likely what it's being referred to. 10 years. So here's the interesting thing: 10 years until the birth. Okay. Then 15 years to grow.
Wait, there we go. That's the confirmation that it's Shirahoshi. 10 years until birth. We were just, if we looked down like a panel lower, we would have not had.
But remember, this takes place 22 years ago.
Yes.
Right?
Shirahoshi 16, so that adds up.
This is saying in 25 years.
No. Yeah, well, in 25 years, she realizes she's the Poseidon.
No, because this is 22 years ago. Remember that. So 10 years, the birth, and then 15. That's 25, which means they're still 3 years too early.
In current time.
Right.
Well, 22 years ago is because there's been a 2-year time skip. So 22 years ago is actually when One Piece starts. So they're actually 2 years.
No. 22 years ago is when this flashback is happening.
Right. It's 22 years ago from current time.
Right.
Huh, so they're 2 years too early still?
3 years too early. 3 years too early.
What?
So one of two things has to happen.
Another time skip.
Another time skip, or someone gets the time fruit.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Toki's not still alive. Well, they say she died.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
someone
means
has to have.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of interesting when I saw it. It was like 25 years. That's 3 years more than, unless we think there's some other time gap that we're missing here, but I don't think we are.
Maybe we're just being bad at math, but when I think of what you're saying, yeah, it's 22 years from time skip One Piece. So
yeah,
huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's keep that in mind. Why are the whales in particular going to be happy?
Because they're gonna blow up the Grand Line
because they'll be reunited with Laboon. Like the Sea Kings know about this.
No, but like
no, because here's the thing, Brook has already happened. Brook is old school, dude.
Yeah, Brook like Gold Roger was just starting out when Brook was doing things.
Yeah, Brook was a OG motherfucker. So Laboon's already separated from his whale pack.
Right.
So maybe they'll be happy because of the theory of destroying the Red Line.
There is that there's nothing stopping Laboon from going through the Grand Line into Fishman Island and coming out the other side. And Laboon's not waiting there to get back with the whale pack. He's waiting for the Rumbar pirates to come back.
Yeah, but the whale pack is waiting for him, I'm sure.
Maybe.
That's their lost stray child.
I think Laboon still is connected to it in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, these like 3 sentences, just so much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that red line's getting motherfucking blown up, boy.
Oh yeah,
believe that.
Laboon just breaks it eventually. It's like dumb.
Luffy's just gonna gum giant axe.
King Kong Mega Cannon.
Yep. Gong King Pirate Cannon. Ooh. Remember
that. We finished this flashback. Roger says that will be my son to find the One Piece again.
Yeah. And
tragics.
Can't wait for Bradley to go through that. So Roger leaves to go bury the child.
Well, he leaves to talk to Whitebeard one more time.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned this to you. This is the point where he probably told Whitebeard to take care of Fishman Island.
Yeah. Right, because that Poneglyph... Well, because Shirahoshi in particular.
Right, because he's now like, oh, this mermaid princess has to be born. Roger knows that this has to exist, which means I can't have anybody taking this over and fucking with anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to fulfill Joy Boy's destiny.
Right. His will.
Yeah. Not a single tear was cried or was shed when they left, which is my favorite aspect of this entire flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Same when Odin left. No tears were shed.
Yep.
They reunite with Toki. Wano. So, Wano is still, like, it's not horrible yet.
But it's starting to get there.
Yeah. So, like, when Odin got there, maybe there was no reason to take down Orochi at the time, even if it was fishy. Mm-hmm. Now there definitely is, because at this point he's attacked Toki.
Yeah. I mentioned this before, but if you look there's the one panel where Oda's talking about leaving behind and going with Roger.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the background, you can see a weapons factory in the distance.
Yeah, they've already started.
Yeah.
Kaido has shown up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Next chapter is going to be horrible.
I
am so excited to be hurt. Hurt me more, Oda, please. People are saying that the scar on
Toki's
leg is a smoking gun, or a Chekhov's gun, rather, for when the clone hag betrays Orochi.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, the clone fruit would reproduce a scar. So never mind.
What do you mean?
Luffy's scar is reproduced whenever the clone fruit is used on him, so...
Is it? Oh, yeah, his eye scar?
Yeah. Never mind. If that happens, then Oda bad.
Then Oda bad.
And since Oda is not bad, it can't happen.
does Bon Clay need to see the details to know what he's changing into, or is he just?
Well, he wouldn't know what Nami's tits look like, but he says it's a perfect reproduction, so I'd say so.
So I think I mentioned this to you on the Discord, but like Odin getting pissed off and then some and then Togi telling him to calm down has been the most of me going like, no, he 100% should be like pissed off at this moment. Like there's no reason for him not to be mad.
You said this is the most justified anyone has been at being mad at One Piece. I get that's a stretch. I feel like there's been plenty of times where people have been justified for being mad.
But like this is one of them where it's just like it's the first time where I've been 100% behind someone being upset and angry at something. Like I just can't see like
not even like, Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon or
one.
Everybody hating Spandam. Like,
all I'm saying is just like I don't know. Like him doing this is just such a. I was 100% behind him doing what he was doing.
Yeah, no, not to mince words. I am super on his side here.
Yeah, for example, to bring it up, Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon was a bad move because for bigger implications.
Mm-hmm.
Odin coming in and killing everybody and trying to kill Orochi, do it.
Do it. Just fuck it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know what? You won me over.
Yeah. It's like there's other than the fact that we know that he's going to die somehow, he's not going to kill Orochi.
Yeah.
If you just look at potential, it's like yes, do it. They're like, why would you not do it?
It's interesting how Orochi's already huge now.
Like his willpower got swelled up and now he's big boy.
Yeah, I mean, we've always attributed people being big just by like a storytelling, like there's strong forces in the universe now, and I feel like Orochi hasn't hit that point yet where he's not as smart as he is today. I don't know. Maybe he is. We don't really get to see much of his scheming aside from what the Hag forces him to do.
Mm-hmm. I like the theory that this is the Hag and he's going to kill a Hag, which explains how the clone fruit dissipates, which makes sense. I like this panel of Odin and there's the long shot of the hallway of the throne room or whatever it is he's in. Mm-hmm. And he's staring down Orochi. It's a tiny panel, but like just the shot of it alone is really, really cool.
Yeah. I like the intensity of the cut, and then oh no, I forgot this guy's crazy. Yeah. I feel like it must be Orochi because it seems like too personal of a thought.
I in my opinion, it might be the Hag because I feel like Orochi wouldn't try to like get in Odin's way or try to talk him down because he knows him.
No, I don't think he knows Odin that well. I mean that's a whole point. Odin helped him out from time to time, but
that's true.
And like he saw mostly his nice side, but now he's like, oh right, when he's not being nice to me, this dude's fucking nuts.
Remember that one time Odin cut a pig in half and sewed it back together?
No one dies in One Piece except for Odin next volume.
But yeah, no. So here's the thing about the hat. I think the thing that's in the glass case is I like the idea of it being kind of like a thing that transforms into something symbolic or matching.
Yeah.
So the straw hat is Luffy's symbol. So it represents a hat to represent Luffy, the mirror. But
counter argument, the hat was totally Poseidon's hat.
Nah.
It was super Poseidon's hat, and Joy Boy had the small hat, and they got matching hats before the tragedy happened. And it was super cute, and the hat is there as a reminder of what happens in the horrible event that Joy Boy gets control of these weapons.
That seems silly to me.
You're silly. It's not silly.
Here's the thing: is Oda has never done that in terms of his storytelling. I feel like
done what?
Like the hat has like he never has a MacGuffin that symbolizes something.
The hat has always been a MacGuffin. We just don't know what it is.
World. I'm sorry. He's never had a MacGuffin that's like really been integral to the world as a large scale thing. And I just think it's really weird for him to have this straw hat be such an important thing that's just carried all the way through and happens.
Of course the straw hat is important. The straw hat is obviously, I could be wrong about this theory, but there's no way that straw hat is not important. It was Roger.
It's important Luffy because it symbolizes the whole journey and the passing of the will.
No, that's still gonna be Luffy's interpretation. But Roger and Shanks are like, this is Joy Boy's hat. Like, that's what it means to them. Luffy doesn't care about anything that's going on.
But if that was true, then why did Roger give the hat to Shanks off before they even got to that island?
Because Luffy wasn't alive yet. Well, he might not have known the importance of the hat yet.
I think it's just the hat. I think that was just Roger's hat.
No.
And he's oh, well, I got a better hat.
All right. Here's why. At the time, Shanks was the one to inherit Roger's will. Mm-hmm. But Roger realizes, Shanks, you're still not the one who's going to finalize this chain of events. And thus, Shanks passes it on to Luffy.
That makes sense.
Shirahoshi's going to wear the big hat, and she's going to... Yeah, it's going to be cute.
I think she's going to wear the hat. I just don't think that it was actually a straw hat the entire time. There's going to be a flashback, and it's going to change. It's going to be the clone fruit, but for items.
What are you talking? There's just 2 hats. What are you talking about? There's the big hat that the Poseidon wore.
Why did they put the hat on ice?
Now that I don't know.
Why would you put a hat on ice if it's just a hat? Why would you put it behind a glass door?
So if Shirahoshi shows up, she's like, I don't want to put it on. It's cold, and that delays her.
But why would you not just burn the hat if it's just a straw hat? Does that make sense?
It's a symbol.
Right. Why not just burn the symbol and get rid of it? Because everything else that the world government has done they've done 100% to try to cover this thing up. They burned down an entire island. They've hunted down people connected to Roger. They killed 8-year-old children or attempted to. Why would you not go a step further and just destroy the one thing that symbolizes?
Maybe the hats are critical to controlling the weapons. No, that's not real. All right, good point, Joe. We'll leave it at a stalemate then. Nobody has won.
Oda's bad.
No one. Okay, I did want to talk though. How do you feel about this increasing Luffy being the chosen one? Chosen one's a weird word to use here. It's more like someone looked into the future and saw that he was the one who would be able to do it.
I think it's less of I don't think it's a guaranteed no. I think Joy Boy failing the first time shows that, that's not a guaranteed cycle. You have to just trust in the person that comes after you to do what's supposed to be fulfilled. And I think it's more of just like Shanks understood that Luffy has it in him to become this thing, so it's going to foster that will. He's not going to give it to him. It's just a fostering. It's a chance encounter kind of thing. It's not like God selected. It's the idea that someone will come around and do it. I know the D's are part of that, and I think that's part of more like the mentality of that bloodline. They're there to propel something forward. That they are the natural enemies of whatever they're supposed to be enemies of.
It is also kind of God-given though, because Madame Shirley saw the future and it's gonna happen. Now, I mean, maybe that's just it's gonna happen because Luffy made it happen, but it doesn't mean like it was fated to be Luffy. Luffy does it in the future, and she can see that, and that's just what she sees. I think what makes this work more than the usual, because I feel like Chosen One stories are usually done badly, but then you have like Avatar, Aang is a Chosen One. Even Worm has a bit of a Chosen One to it, and it's also premonition based.
That they even explain that you're still human when you're the Avatar.
Yeah.
Like what the Avatar before Aang dies is a very human kind of betrayal.
Yeah.
I think the idea, like it's the whole like the D concept is that these are people that have this natural rebellion to them, and so it's like that's what identifies you as a D. But I think there's just maybe an inherent passing of will that happens. That doesn't mean that you have the ability to finish that will, because if that was true, then Blackbeard wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like that's how it works. If you're guaranteed to accomplish this will,
right? Oh, that's a good point, right? Well, I mean,
yeah. And so it's the idea of once again, when we get reveal what the D's are, we probably have a better idea of what it means, and at this point, we don't know if Shanks knows what the D is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume Shanks knows everything, but that's just an assumption.
That is an assumption.
So I was going to say the reason why this works for me, because I saw, like, people, I saw one comment in particular, it's like, man, Luffy has all this, and he's Dragon's son, and he's Garp's grandson, and he's Shanks' protege, and I'm like, none of that matters. Luffy being Dragon's son almost never does anything good for him. Luffy being Garp's grandson almost never does anything good for him. Also, compared to, like, Big Mom and Odin, who are born these godly strong characters, Luffy was born a little wimp. He had to work to be strong and have the willpower to be strong, because as we've mentioned, that is how you get strong in One Piece. It's you just gotta believe.
Believe it!
Believe it. Like, yeah. And I feel like his lineage has, like, still led to him having humble beginnings. He's had to work for everything. And most importantly, he doesn't care. And I feel like, at least I hopes that Oda is building this story where, like, Luffy was able to do it because that's his dream. That is what he wants.
I think
it's not to fulfill some destiny, and by not wanting to fulfill a destiny, Luffy is destined to do it. Like, he's the only one who can, because he's the only one with that heart. I hope that's what Oda's building to.
There's that big connection between Luffy and Roger. Like, they're the two biggest kind of, like, connecting threads to the two timelines. The thing that connects them both is not, like, what they do, it's who they are as a person.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And like it doesn't matter. That's why everyone else that tries to get there fails, is because they don't have the idea or the personality to drive them to get there. You have to, like, it's, once again, if the will of D was just you accomplish this task and then that's it, Blackbeard wins. Whatever Law is supposed to do, that happens. Which I don't think Law is going to accomplish what his will is, or, you know.
Well, I mean, if all the D's are to propel a new king or something, then Law will definitely, like, Law's super gonna die for Luffy. Like, we all know this.
Law is super dead.
Fucking rip, man. That's gonna hurt way more than
confirmed since Ojiro and Jojo Leon. But I think, to me, the big thing here is that there isn't a prophecy. That's the big thing. It's just the idea that this person will come around to fulfill it. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be this person. It just means eventually someone will be able to make it.
I mean, once again, Madame Shirley, though, is like, oh no, it's a prophecy. But again, I said, maybe she's just like that. She's just seeing how it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And then with the Sea Kings, like, people are talking about, like, how they know it. I think that's just a natural thing that they know.
Right. Like an animal sense.
Yeah, an instinct. They just, like, oh, she's going to be born around this time because that's how it's been. It's just an instinctual knowledge, so we know that these events are happening around this time again.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
So there's a couple of theories of the D, right? And it's the inherited will. What if it's just like, to get the One Piece, you need to be a D, and a D is not a bloodline thing. Maybe it's just like maybe it's a will thing. I don't know. But the idea that Blackbeard is strictly following it based on Zebek, but he doesn't win, and then Luffy just following his own heart wins. I feel like that's a good way to also handle a Chosen One story. So I think there's a couple ways where Oda can make this, like, not fall into the bad tropes.
Here's the big brain thought of the night.
Brace yourselves.
Because it's been joked about all the time, but, like, the D is just literally a smiley face, and that's what they were laughing at, is they realized the whole world is just a giant smiley face.
You weren't joking about that? Well, I mean, is that a common theory that the D's just, I've never heard that one.
Joke about it. Like, because you could put, like, a colon in front of it or a semicolon, and, like, it makes a happy face or whatever. But, like, but if you think about it,
and Roger laughed.
Yeah, it's Monkey D. Like, it's not, like, spelled out.
Hold on, how is Luffy's name spelled out in kanji? Let's do some quick research. Does he have the JoJo eyes? No. It's monkey ends with like a straight dash, so never mind.
No, there's a D in the middle of it, Willer.
I see the D. What are you talking about? I'm saying there's no
Like there's two dots.
I
Oh yeah,
was looking for the end of monkey to be like the little eyes, and it was a smiley face all along.
But like I don't know. That just seems a little bit silly. But I feel like because Odin always knew what this One Piece was going to be. I think there's more to it than just that. But I think it'd be just kind of funny. Like that's because there has to be something that makes Roger laugh, and it's either a morbid laugh or a genuine laugh of what they're seeing.
Yeah,
does that make sense? Because either they got there too early and they can't accomplish what they do.
That's the morbid laugh.
Right, that they're laughing at that. Oh, we did all this for nothing, basically. That's kind of funny. Or it's a big joke.
It's all yeah. The world is a smiley face. I don't see how that but dude, I'd be down for it. I just don't see how it'd work.
Mm-hmm. I think there's more to that for sure. Like, I don't think it's just that. I think it's just that's just part of like.
This is the age of smiles, says Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just I don't know. The past 3 chapters have just absolutely been mind-bending, melding of.
They were so good, man.
Okay,
One Piece is so good.
All right. Okay, Willer. This hopefully will be the last time. How many chapters until this flashback ends? 1, 2, or 3? One. You think next chapter is the last flashback?
This is it.
I think it's 2. I think it's going to be like 1.5. Where this one is going to be him. He thinks he kills Orochi or drives him out. Rules for a few years. Kaido comes and captures him. The next chapter, first half, is Kaido kills him, and then we finally catch up to what they're doing.
The pace is too fast. Odin's dead next chapter, dog. He's gonna be boiled alive. My name is Odin, and I was born to boil. And the first 3 pages of the next chapter will be Kinemon reacting to that, and then it's going to transition into Act 3 of Wano.
And he's seeing what's happened to everything. I'm so I'm so excited.
Where does this arc go, dude? I want so much One Piece right now. I want it all. Like the idea that we might get the answer to the Will of D in like 2 years, like at the speed that we're going. Could you imagine? Anyways.
Or we have another Super Saga we have to get through, and we'll get it by 2030.
We can't have another Super Saga, man. We may have another saga, but I think we'll only get one Super Saga. Which would be New World until Wano. That's a Super Saga there.
All right.
That's good for One Piece, I think.
Oh, one thing we didn't point out is that Dendro's gone.
Yeah.
So which means that
he left to go
that boat leaving Wano.
Right, because Kaido was already there.
Yeah.
That makes Dendro a coward.
Yeah.
I mean, by One Piece standards, I think it's super reasonable, but
I think what if Dendro left to go get help? Like that was his whole point and reason. Because they don't mention why he left. They just say he's gone. No, he's going around and he's collecting money. That's what he's doing. I forget. He's borrowing money and repaying money. That's what he said.
But he had to go out of island for that? Or did they say he left the island, or did they say that he's? I remember collecting money.
He's wandering all over Wano.
Yeah,
borrowing money and paying it back. I don't know why I thought he left.
Okay, he's not gone yet.
No, Izo. They left Izo on the boat. He told Izo to stay, which explains that.
Yeah. That's that.
And then Dog and Cat. Oh, no. Yeah. That's it.
Seeing Oda next to Toki is the first time where we're really... I mean, Big Mom, too. Like, sex in One Piece is the biggest mystery after the Will of D.
Who fucked Big Mom? What's a bigger mystery? Who fucked Palpatine or who fucked Big Mom?
I mean, 40 people fucked Big Mom. At least. Including Kaido. So, like, she must not be bad at least. With the lights off, maybe it's alright. But Palpatine, I don't know, man. I don't think that was a wholesome conception at all. I think that was very not...
Who wins in a Chad fight, Willer? leader of Wano, Kazuki Odin, or Wham with tennis shoes?
Wham with tennis shoes.
All right. So, anyways, we'll go talk about JoJolion now.
Yeah, let's do that. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us for One Piece Talk. This was an interesting one. We went 3 times longer than we usually do.